David, I'm really glad to be interviewing you again. And it's one of the reasons why I was initially drawn to you, and I hope and think you to me as well. And it's this word integrity. We talked about it a little bit before, in that it is a core value at AFS. And when we say integrity, what does that mean to you, David?
Well, integrity, it's having making sure that you're putting the customer, the project, the employees, making sure that you have your priorities and that you're putting their best interest in front of pretty much everything else.
Mm.
Regardless of what it takes, we want to make sure that the systems we install, whether it's a fire sprinkler system or a fire alarm system or an access control system, we need to make sure that they have the proper installation, that they have the integrity of the system, that it functions when it's called upon. Even access control, when you go to a property and they have, the doors, mag locks, and that sort of stuff, where they try to keep people out, and take care of their property, that needs to work when you go out there. If there's a door that doesn't work, then it's not providing the system that they've paid for. Come to the fire
That
sprinkler and or fire alarm system at that point, and they're only called upon in an emergency. And when there's an emergency, they really need to work. So that system needs to have the integrity, and that starts with the person that's installing it. And you need to make sure that the system is installed properly, that our designers, it starts with our sales team. Our sales team can quote what the customer's asking for, but because the fire protection industry is so young compared to the other industries, there are no engineers that really design the systems for us. When you get a set of plans from a customer, you've got your MEP drawings, which are mechanical, electrical, and plumbing drawings. There's an engineer that has actually designed those electrical systems and ran all the loads. On the fire sprinkler side or the fire alarm side, we have to do that. And it's our job to make sure that we're selling the customer the right product for what they're building. And then it passes over to our project management, and they have to make sure that it's designed to meet the needs of the property and deliver the water or deliver the sounds, make sure that the fire alarm system will wake up residents in the middle of the night. And if there is a fire, that it will respond and put that fire out. So the system needs to work right. And then it comes down to the person installing it at that point. Make sure that they are putting it where it shows on the drawings. And
mm,
if they see a problem, go back to their project manager. Hey, I don't think this mini horn's in the right location, or maybe this sprinkler head's too far off the wall. And they need to make sure that they are reviewing the drawings as they install them to know it's right. So integrity means doing the job right, making sure that you're doing it as if it's your own, that you're going to be living there afterwards, and putting the customer first. You take care of the customer, they're going to take care of you. And at the end of the day, they've got a property to protect, whether it's a shopping center or an apartment project. And integrity just means taking care of each other, taking care of the customer, installing a good quality system, regardless of what it takes. And integrity, again, it just boils down to, I guess, honesty and having the drive to make sure that you're installing the best system we can and making sure it works right. Quick example, we had a property over in San Antonio we installed several years ago, and we go out there and the customer calls us, and I think they'd had an inspection or something, and they call me and they say, hey, there's a problem of some sort. And we installed it about 7 years prior to this. And at the end of the day, I told the customer, I said, it was installed wrong. We'll take care of it. And it was way outside of warranty, but it was our job to take care of the customer because we didn't install it right to begin with. And it was something small, but we went out there, took care of it. And that's what we do with our customers. We make sure that we, look after their best interest and make sure that we're installing what they're paying for and providing protection for their property.
man, I love the perspective because it's different than how I initially was coming at it. I always think about the person, but your perspective was really about the system. Integrity is what we do has to work in the middle of the night when nobody's watching, and it's about to be probably their worst day for a long
Sure.
time if your stuff goes off. So I heard things in there in integrity that you had work ethic, right? Make sure that you are doing this the best that you can. I heard kind of personal attributes, be honest. I also heard own your mistake. That was a great example of going back and saying, this is on us. We're going to make this right. What are some of those other actions like honesty, work ethic, owning mistakes and fixing them that you attribute to a person or a way to kind of move through with integrity?
Well, I think that we've got a shrinking workforce in construction, and as a result, I think a lot of our skilled craftsmen are overworked,
Mm,
and I think there is the ability that people will just go through as fast as they can, and I think that we need to make sure that we slow down and make sure that we're doing things right. I mean, people are going to be living, shopping, eating, visiting these buildings that are protected, and it needs to be installed right.
yeah. Do the right thing, do it the right way, and make sure that it gets done. That's kind of the wrap up of it. What else would you add for anybody that's listening and they're thinking, okay, integrity is big at American Fire, and I want to make sure I operate in this every single day when I engage with the team, when I'm doing the work, when I'm building the plans and selling the project. What would you leave them with in and around integrity?
Having the integrity to look after the customers. We've talked about our employees and trying to provide a stable financial future for them. We've talked about our vendors and trying to be the best customer we can for them to allow them to continue to grow and provide a financial future for their employees. But our customers, our end users, at the end of the day, we're dealing with a lot of management companies, and they didn't build the projects. They probably half of them don't own the projects; they just manage them. And we want to bring a resource to them to be able to provide all of their fire protection, life safety needs. And whether that is access control, CCTV, or their fire alarm, fire sprinkler systems that are synchronized together to be able to complement each other, we want to make sure that in the ongoing inspection and maintenance program that they know that they can trust us. We go out there. We don't look for things that are broken just so we can fix them. We do a thorough inspection so that we know that their property is up to code and that they trust us, that at the end of the day, we give them a fair price. It's not always going to be cheap, but it's not always going to be the most expensive. We've got a staff that we have to take care of, and putting a van on the streets. A few years ago, that $34,000 van, add about $20,000 to it to outfit it with tools and the wrap and all that sort of stuff. Now that same van is running about $65,000, and then the 20,000 is up to about 30,000. It's knocking all over $90,000 to put a van on the streets nowadays. So we have to pay for that. We provide 401k and health insurance. We try to take care of the employees. So we're not always going to be cheapest, but we're going to be fair with our prices. We'll be competitive. But the key thing is to educate our customers, make sure that we're training their employees on site, make sure that they know what they're looking for. And for example, on our fire alarm side, there's a lot of manufacturers that are proprietary equipment, and you have to sign a distributorship agreement with them in order to carry their line. We do everything we can to not install proprietary equipment. And I tell my customers all the time, the reason we do that, we're installing a good product. There's nothing inferior about what we're installing at all. But at the end of the day, if they don't think we're doing a good job, they're not stuck with us servicing their project. They can call somebody else and either check our work or, replace us if they want to. And obviously, we don't want to be replaced. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that they have options. And if we build that relationship, they know that they can call us 24 hours a day. We'll be there to answer their call. We'll take care of their needs. We'll respond when they want to. And we'll make sure that their systems are functioning like they're designed so that they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that is awesome. Thank you so much, David, for sharing and for leading with the example of integrity that you do. I'm grateful for it. And until next time, I know everyone's going to have it on their mind as they go out and do the work that they do.
Thank you, John.